This is the new Porsche 911 Carrera 4, which goes on sale in October for around 67 grand. However, you could be forgiven for thinking it doesn't look particularly new. That's because the only major visual changes are LED front and rear lights, plus a reflective strip at the back. But there are some rather significant changes which you can't see. For instance, the car's 3.6 litre engine now has direct injection. It produces 345 brake horsepower, which is 20 brake horsepower more than the old Carrera 4.
The engine response is really sharp. It pulls from anywhere within the rev range and it just guns it to the red line.
Naught to 60 miles an hour now takes 4.8 seconds, while top speed is 176 miles an hour. But despite the increased performance, the new model is more economical, although its 28 mpg still won't win over any greenies.
Porsche has also made changes to the car's suspension, and the result is that the ride is slightly better and more composed at speed than it was on the previous generation model. Also, you can lean that a little bit harder on the nose as you're going into the turn, which gives you a little bit extra confidence.
But the biggest difference about the new Carrera 4 is its four-wheel drive system. It now has the electronic setup from the turbo which diverts torque even before there's any wheel slip, and it can direct 100% of the drive to the front wheels if you get things badly wrong.
The four-wheel drive system allows you to carry a bit more speed through the corners, and you can get back on the power that little bit earlier and that little bit harder because you know you've got the added security of the torque going to the front wheels to help drag you out. And that means this car can be devastatingly quick.
But if you'd rather a four-wheel drive 911 that's slower, doesn't handle so well or looks so nice, you could always pay an extra 7 grand for the Cabriolet. I wouldn't bother though, and I don't think it's worth paying an extra 7 grand for the 385 brake horsepower S model either. And that brings me on to whether it's worth spending an extra 4,360 quid for the Carrera 4 over the normal Carrera.
Now there's no doubt that on an unfamiliar road or in the wet you're going to be able to go quicker in a Carrera 4 than you would do in the normal two-wheel drive car. But most of the time there's going to be hardly anything in it, and I actually reckon that the two-wheel drive car is probably a little bit more fun, a little bit more involving, and after all that's what a Porsche is supposed to be about. So I reckon you're better off saving yourself about 4 grand and just going for the normal Carrera.